Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel. We're Travel of Johnny and Will and today is day 4 of the inaugural cruise of Marella Voyager.
Yeah, so today we have docked in the port of Civitavecchia. I think that's how you pronounce it. So it's basically the port that people get off the ship and go to Rome. We've already been to Rome before. It's quite an exhausting day when you do it with the cruise ship. So we decided to have a self-imposed sea day. Also the fact that we had a late night last night, thanks to Paul and Carol, from Paul and Carol Loves to Travel, and the electric rooms, basically we needed a lie-in this morning. So this morning then we got up quite late and we went then for breakfast in the kitchens. I was really hungry this morning, so I had a cooked breakfast and Will just had cereal and some fruit.
Yeah.
So then after breakfast, we decided just to head back to our cabin, get things sorted in our cabin, as we had a bit of R&R planned at the Ocean Spa.
Yes, so last night when we got our cruise news, there was an offer in it for the spa, basically because the ship would be quite quiet on the Rome day because everybody would want to get off, and it was basically £89 for 75 minutes, including 3 different treatments.
Yeah, so there was a list of about 6 that you could pick from. We both chose the hand and arms massage, the back and neck massage, and a mini facial.
Yeah.
So we felt it was really good value for money, and it was really good. Our therapists were super friendly, and they obviously were really good at their job as well. And the spa area on board is lovely. It has obviously a thermal suite, you know, with saunas and steam rooms and things, and obviously you'll see that whenever we bring you our ship tour. The one thing it doesn't have, unfortunately, is a hydrotherapy pool. So we haven't booked in for a thermal suite session on this cruise.
No. So after our spa treatment, we went up to the kitchens for a bite of lunch. We went to the pastry, what's it called? It's just called
pastry crust.
The pastry crust, and I had a pie and chips.
Yeah, it was really nice. I had the exact same. It was like chicken and mushroom pie yesterday, and I really love chicken and mushroom pie.
Yeah,
so we both had the pie and chips then for lunch. After lunch, it was a lovely day in port. So we went up and played some mini golf, and we'll put some footage in of the mini golf. It's actually one of the best ones.
Yeah, it's very well themed on this ship. But the best out of all the Marella Explorer and Explorer 2, this one's the best themed, we believe. Yeah.
And then after that we just went for coffee in the coffee port. It was a bit cooler inside, so we needed to get back in for a bit of air conditioning, and we decided to sit there for a while and have a couple of coffees, and then we decided then to head on down to the Squid and Anchor for some of the afternoon activities. So
in the Squid and Anchor they were holding what they call the toughest quiz of the cruise. And it really was. I actually don't think I got one thing correct at all.
Yeah, we joined Paul and Carol, and I think Paul got 2 questions right, but I think he was sort of nearly playing his own because the rest of us were kind of hopeless.
We were clueless. But
sorry,
bear in mind,
Carol,
one of the questions was, how many times did they raise the Tower Bridge in 1908?
Still can't remember the answer.
Can't remember. It was 400 and something, but like, yeah.
Still can't remember the answer. And after the toughest quiz then was bingo. So we decided to chance our arm and our luck at bingo. We didn't do well at that either.
We didn't do well.
Will doesn't really play bingo that often, and gets quite stressed out playing bingo, but we give it a whirl. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, we didn't win. So we're basically we're a few pound down now, but sure, it was a bit of crack and fun.
So tonight's guest entertainment was Boyzlife, which when we first heard about it, Johnny was very, very excited about this. And they had also 2 things organised for us. They were obviously doing the show, and they also, Marella planned a meet and greet with them, which was held in the Squid and Anchor at 6:30. So we went along to the meet and greet, and we got our picture with them and met them, which was it was really well organised. And
yeah, like Marella closed the venue so that people that weren't sitting there after the bingo had to leave and things. They put up sort of like tape so that people couldn't jumped the queue and things like that, which was really good. And it was a steady line, so we were only there really for about 15 minutes.
And if you wanted to see, if you wanted to see them, you definitely would have got the chance. There wouldn't have been no option to.
And again, it was where the staff there took your photo using your own phone or camera, so which we thought was really good. Most cruise lines would probably have their professional photographer there and then want to charge you for the pictures. Exactly. So it was great. Dinner again, we just went back up to the kitchens. We wanted to sort of, I know it sounds like we spent the day in the kitchens yesterday, and we sort of did, but we plan to bring you a video about the new concept of the kitchens, so we wanted to make sure that we had done a breakfast, lunch and dinner there, and if you checked out our previous video, we also did an afternoon tea there the day before. But it was really nice. Again, the food on this cruise, I found it to be great, and the concept of the kitchens is also good because sometimes you just want one dinner, you know, and sometimes people put different things on their plate, but that isn't really us. So you know, we just went and had one meal last night, and it was fantastic. It was really tasty.
So off to the show lounge now for the Boyzlife gig, and to say it was packed would be an understatement.
Yeah, we thought we were going early.
Yeah. We went 20 minutes early, but basically every seat had nearly been taken, bar maybe 10 spaces at the front. Yeah,
so we were lucky to get a space in the second row, and once I spied the seat, I was just like, that's ours, and ran for it. But yeah.
And how was the gig, Johnny?
Well, me and my friend, we've been to a couple of Westlife gigs and things like that, and only recently I've started to go to their gigs with her. She used to drag her husband along, and they're just great gigs. And we saw Boyzlife before a few years ago, and they really do put on a good show, and they're quite funny guys with it as well. Like as Will says, the gig was packed, but they really raised the roof. Everybody was singing. By the end of the gig, people were up dancing, and they were out in the audience dancing, and everybody had a really good time.
And I enjoyed it as well, which like I don't really listen to that music, but obviously because it has that nostalgic factor, you know, I pretty much knew all the songs, even though I wouldn't say I was a fan of either Boyzone or Westlife, and I really enjoyed it.
And basically, if you don't know who Boyzlife are, so basically Brian McFadden, he was in Westlife, and Keith Duffy, he was in Boyzone, not just Coronation Street. And they make up Boyzlife. So yeah, it was a great gig, thoroughly enjoyed. After the gig, we just went for a quick drink in the Arts House. It was quite busy last night, but we had a drink there, and then we decided to call it an early night, as we were still pretty tired from the night before. So we decided to call it an early night. So tomorrow we're in Livorno, and our plan is that we're going to visit the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up and click subscribe if you want to be kept up to date with our Marella Voyager content, and also ring that bell so you don't miss out. Thanks so much for watching.
Bye bye.